fairly foggy conditions around and about Lillehammer at the moment. Weather dropping below minus, down to about 2 degrees under. The visibility, as I mentioned, there is the flag bearer man. Look at that, you got top half of him today. 90 metres, that's all it is, 20 gates. And we'll show you who's got who in a few moments' time. We'll explain how it works as well. These guys trying to figure it out as well as me. That's exactly how I learned. Somebody showed me a picture with lots of colours and numbers on. It was like being back at junior school. But it was very simple. In the end, you get 2 races against your opponent. Quickest this morning gets 16th fastest from qualifying, and so on and so on. 9th versus 8th, 16th, 15th versus 2nd, and all that jazz. We'll go through it as we give you the start lists in a few moments. Basically, you get 2 runs. The first one sorts out the time factor for the second run. The first one across the line in the second run goes through to the next stage. We'll keep it nice and simple for you. Whoever wins the second race goes through. That's all you need to know. All 3 classifications in the pot. Vision impaired, standing and sitting women all go against each other. The factored times in calculation made to try and level out the playing field. We will see at these World Championships who is the best individual athlete, and it'll be the one that crosses that line at the bottom of your screen in the final. The women's event first race should give us Nete Kiviranta against Elena Stari. Finland versus Austria. There you go. And there are the time differences. So Kiviranta against Stari. Niku versus Votsa. Perrine and Fitzpatrick. Ischenko and Voronchikina in heat number 4. All the qualifying done this morning, so we're down to the last 16 athletes. Isabel Tal goes against Osho. Already a world champion here. Smatseva and Fakasova. Rothfuss and Forjash. And Lebon versus Aigner. 57-year-old versus 16-year-old. Both have won medals here in Lillehammer. The guys taking part in the same competition a little bit later on. We'll do a run of the women, and then we'll do a run of the guys as well. So straight out racing. First time at a World Championships that this has been done. We're all ready. Kiviranta versus Stari. Bronze medal winner. The first time of asking for Nete Kiviranta on the left-hand side. You see the guide for Stari on the right-hand side, and already the Austrian finding it much easier to navigate the course, and she's already taken a lead here on the red course. And you'd have to feel that she will have an almighty advantage when it comes to the second run and going through. So Kiviranta with the struggle. Stari crosses the line. Kiviranta, well, the maximum 2 seconds will be added. Will it be enough for her to get away from the Austrian in the second run? They've got to regroup, get themselves up the mountain. They've got a while until their second run. So Stari takes it. Next up, Evangelia Nico versus Martina Votsa. Again, VI athlete versus VI athlete. Year-old Votsa. The guide is Yelenia Savidussi. Nikao. Dimitrios Profitsas. will be Mingelia, who gets to go with an advantage. Or Votsa, should I say. Let's see how they fare. Oh, is that a miss gate? No, I don't think so. I think it was, you know, on the left-hand side of the screen. We'll get a replay of that, I'm sure, at the end, but I think Nico completely misses one of the gates near the top, so Votsa breezing down. She's going to hit the line first anyway, is she? Oh, yeah, just by 5/100ths. But we'll take a look back. I think there's a fault there in the course, and well, Nicole just here gets wide. Yeah, doesn't make the gate. Well, she carries on, but ultimately she has missed a gate, so it smiles for now. See what the officials do a little later. Now Mel Perrine and Mena Fitzpatrick. Unbelievable performance from Fitzpatrick to take gold yesterday in the slalom. Mel Perrine, Bobby Kelly crashing out in quite bizarre fashion. They'll tell you that's not been the World Championships they were expecting, with a flat-out race this time around. Perrine and the self-proclaimed legend Bobby Kelly, her words, not mine, taking on a world champion in the slalom. Oh, Perrine getting caught up in one of the gates. At the moment, it looks good here for Fitzpatrick and Guest. It's fairly tight now as they head towards the line. Oh, Perrine slides out with 2 to go. Oh, Mel Perrine, it just has not been her World Championships at all. And I told you we'd get plenty of excitement and drama, and we are doing. It's been a fantastic World Championships for just watching. Just got caught up in that gate. But it was later on here. Just shifted the body weight, and she couldn't get it back at all. Across the line comes Fitzpatrick. It was close up until that point. Perrine smiling. It's all about having fun. I know Mel Perrine just absolutely loves being out there. Ischenko, Vronchikina next. 2 athletes from Team RPC, 2 athletes from the standing category.
Martin, what?
Vronchikina, a double world champion here at these World Championships. She will expect to have the better of Ischenko, but we've seen mistakes already in 2 of our races. But look at Vronchikina on the right-hand side, absolutely darting around those red gates. No problems here whatsoever. Vronchikina.
2 gold medals and 3 silver medals so far in these competitions for Vronchikina.
Does it like you would have expected.
And Ischenko, 2 seconds behind.
Well, maximum 2 seconds added. Vronchikina in quite scintillating form there. No drama. No problem. Vronchikina ready for the second run. I feel she's one of the favourites in this. These performances this morning were pretty good. Eigner, another that will fancy it. This lady here in the blue will also feel this is a contest she could well take. Ebba Osho up against Isabel Tao. Tao with her guide. Osho, double World Cup winner in early 21, but a slalom winner just yesterday in what was a phenomenal performance. And look at her darting through here. Had a spillage in the giant slalom a few days back, but she has bounced back and through the line she comes. Well, there's a muscle reduction in her right leg. That's her impairment. Osho sticks her tongue out. An easy win here
slalom race.
against Isabel Tao, the 21-year-old from Sweden. Flies down, clattering through. And she's plenty of experience on the able-body circuit, still races that. But here she is, classified into the standing section of the Para World, and she is setting it alight.
Blue course ready? Red course ready?
Smatsova versus Farkasova. Slovakia versus Slovakia. VI on the right, Farkasova versus Standing on the left on the blue course, Smatsova. Both in their 30s, Farkasova 35. Change of guide over the last couple of years for Farkasova. It's been a mixed bag here. Gold in the opening stages, Super G in the downhill. She's ahead here on Smatsova. And she'll win this by 1.61.
In the red course, fastest, 161 behind Smatsova.
Two teammates have to battle each other.
From Germany.
At the moment, Farkasova has the edge, it would seem. You see Smatsova on the far side, but they'll switch sides in the second run. They both have to do one of each. But in the second run, that first person to hit the line goes through. Von Chikina watching on, paying attention to the opposition perhaps. Still another Team RPC athlete to go in this contest as well, so she's perhaps waiting for her. There she is. Tisha Friash up against Andrea Rothfuss. This is 7th against 10th, so should be somewhat tighter. Rothfuss, the 32-year-old, Friash just 16 on the right-hand side. Who will get the advantage going into the second run? It's fairly even in the opening stage, and now Friash is starting to push on. Good run for the teenager. Taisia Friash will take this one. 1.19 the difference between Friash and Andrea Rothfuss. They all seem to be enjoying it. There's lots of smiles in this parallel event so far. I wonder how much those smiles will decrease come the semi-finals and final action when they realise they might just win it. There's prize money on offer in these World Championships given by one of the sponsors. Winners yesterday in the slalom receiving an €800 check. Silver and bronze getting some cash as well, so a great incentive, and brilliant that we've had the ability to do that.
Attention.
Now, no Linda Le Bon here. Right. Just got Barbara Eigner. So Eigner going down. You do have to complete your run. You can't go out. Otherwise it gives a bye to somebody else. So Eigner will just take a time down here. And I'm wondering if Le Bon has decided to withdraw from an injury.
Eigner was fastest here, starting alone. And we're ready for the men in some small minutes.
So the men's event will come in just a matter of moments. Well, the men's events will go with Alibayev versus Eigner. We had Eigner in the women's event last up. We've got it first up this time with Johannes Kako-Bordansk, Kivri, Salka and Pellizzani versus Michael Golas. Tommy Walsh makes it through and goes up against the formidable Italian Bertagnoli. Gawley and Simpson, Australia, Great Britain there. Brossan versus Hayos, and Prijancic is last to go against Bugayev.
What?
Another who will fancy it.
Дай послушай, как он. Red course ready?
So Alyabayev
Blue course ready?
on the left-hand side, Johannes Eichner on the right.
Attention.
32-year-old Alyabayev against the youngest in the men's event, Eichner. Away goes Johannes Eichner then. He gets a gap over Team RPC's Alexander Alyabayev. Standing athlete qualified in 16th. Eichner qualifying first. And Eichner having no such problem on the right-hand side, it would seem. And he will hit the line in front. Alyabayev 1.30, trying to close that gap down.
Alyabayev 1:30 behind Eigner from the first hit at the top.
Could be an interesting race in the second run. Good run from Alyabayev. Can he close the gap on Johannes Eichner and get to the line first in that second run? We'll find out later on.
Okay.
Krakow on the left-hand side, Manuel Bordanks on the right. Single leg skier, or sorry, standing skier Bordanks, VI skier Jakub Krakow. Bordanks impairment due to being bitten by a tiger shark whilst out scuba diving. Krakow on the left-hand side, the VI athlete here. Bordanks is coming, you know. Qualified 8th versus 9th. Bordanks is going to make this real tight towards the line. Oh, that was tight. And it is Krakow, and that's one of the closest we've seen so far. 4/100ths of a second. Bordanks diving towards the line. Mary Bochet leading the cheer squad. But Krakow just gets there. Again, setting up a very good second run. See the Slovakian lunging towards the line. It got there. Markus Salka, double gold winner at these World Championships. Back to form is Markus Salka in the right time of year as well. The Paralympic Winter Games on the horizon. He's up against Santeri Kiveri. More of a speed racer is Salka, hence the advantage he has over Kiveri here. And the Finn is flying. Not going to be quick enough, I don't think. No, another tight one, 0.29. Salka does get there, less than 0.3 of a second, mind you.
Ahead of Kiveri.
Oh, all the fun of the fair being had.
Then we go silent again. Then we have heat number 4. Federico Pellizzari in the blue course. 3
close races
in the red course
so far. Pellizzari versus Mikael Golas coming up next.
Red course ready? Yeah. Blue course ready? Attention.
Pellizzari on the left-hand side. Away goes Golas' guide. Pellizzari is away as well then. So VI versus standing once more. The VI athlete on the right-hand side of your screen. Federico Pellizzari on the left on the blue course. Switch around after the first run, remember. It's closing up a little bit. Has he left it too late here, Pellizzari? No, I think he might just get there, you know. Oh, again, just 0.12.
0.12 seconds.
Just 12 100ths.
We are ready for heat number 5. Thomas Charles OUS.
Oh, these guys are pushing each other tremendously.
Norway ending up second in the slalom competition 2 days ago and had 1 goal from before.
Red course ready? Yeah. Blue course ready?
Thomas Walsh, left-hand side of your screen. Giacomo Bertagnoli came here after finally getting a clean PCR test. Rushed over, got a gold. That is the way to do it. Walsh trying to claw back the gap that Bertagnoli gets at the beginning of this first run, and Tommy Walsh will give it absolutely everything, no doubt about that. Bertagnoli being guided down here pretty well. Walsh trying to close the gap as they come through the line. That will be 1.31, not as close as some of the races we've just seen. Very similar to the Aigner Alyabayev story, that one.
The first round.
That was 3rd versus 14th in terms of qualifying.
Australia, Mitchell Gorley against Great Britain, Neil Simpson.
Mitch Gorley against Neil Simpson coming up. So we see Bertagnoli getting to the line.
Blue course ready? Red course ready? Attention!
Simpson on the right will go first as the VI athlete. Gorley, probably first to tell you this has not been his dream World Championships, so he wouldn't mind going out in good fashion. Perrine spilling towards the bottom. Gorley already pushing it to the very limit, bouncing and hopping where he has to. But it's a good run from the Simpsons here. And the Simpson brothers hit the line, 1.70 the advantage.
Simpson 170 ahead of Gorley. They have the 7th heat.
Great Britain,
Jordan Grasser,
unlike the cricket, gets one over on the Australians.
from Slovakia.
That's enough cricket talk.
Make it for semi and finals, okay? We make it for semi-finals again.
Just chatting away at the bottom.
No.
Get themselves back up for a second run. Bib 7, well, that belongs to Miroslav Hareos, so another of our VI athletes. He's going to go up against Jourdain Brossan,
Course ready?
standing French athlete
Attention!
on the left-hand side of the course, the blue course. So Hareos, his guide sets off. Away goes Brossan. Can he claw back the Slovakian on the red course? Again, they all have to do 2 runs, one either side. Calculations done from the first race. Can either close or lengthen your gap. Brossan has gone really well here. Oh, 1/100th. 1/100th.
Some mistake on Hareos. In the end there.
Real tight over the first. Well, he had his problems. Hareos, did he miss a gate? No, he does well, despite getting dragged back. Oh, he does miss one here. Oh, right at the end. In fact, I didn't spot that. I was so busy watching Brossan on the left-hand side of the screen, closing the gap. I hadn't noticed Hareos missed the gap at the gates at the end. Well, Brossan.
Red course ready? Blue course ready? Attention!
Now, Prijancic and Bugayev leave the gate together. Both looking for a slight advantage in the second run, because the one that crosses the line next time.
Increasing the lead.
Oh, Bugayev! Well, he makes it back inside. Very, very agile indeed.
Ahead of
Well, Alexei Bugayev thrown around towards the end, just here. Oh, he's right on the edge of the blade. Somehow gets it flat and gets across the line. There'd be a sigh of relief, I'm sure. Bugayev was almost gone under his own steam there. Alexei Bugayev gets across the line in front of Niko Prijancic. We'll be heading into the women's second run in just a moment. This time around, remember, first to hit the line goes through. It's nice and simple. There are the first 4 heats, the back 4 giving us a couple of those that fancy themselves as winners here. Eichner, Orsho. The ladies getting themselves ready. It's Elena Stari. Bib number 1, fastest qualifier. That's what that means from the morning qualification section. Plenty of people looking on. A lot of people on the sides helping out. What you don't see off camera is all these guys and girls on the left-hand side and the right-hand side of the mountain. Every time a gate is clattered in a run, they've got to quickly scoot onto the course, sort the gate out, and get back off again because it's pretty quick fire. Mena Fitzpatrick trying to keep warm. Katie Guest, her guide. That man in the background yawning and still taking coffee in. I think he needs more than that. Plenty of people watching from the sides. Holidaymakers within the chalets either side of the hill here. So not surprisingly, it is a Sunday. It's very busy out on the public courses. And on the public runs, there's lots of bodies coming down. Most of them are upright, to be fair to them. Quite a few stopping occasionally and taking in the action, especially towards the finish line area. So good time, I'm sure, for us all to say big thank you to the volunteers that have helped to run this event, not just here out on the course, but of course the differing hotels and various people up and down, transport. This man here with his clipboard, pivotal. A huge thank you to all of them for all of their time and efforts that they've put into helping make what has been a fantastic World Championships. It's my 3rd World Championships, had to say. This is the most enjoyable one of the lot. If you ever wonder where a lot of the photographs come for World Para Snow Sports, that man there is responsible for lots of them. And you see the great big printout of how it works up at the top. The coaches themselves coming along and taking a look, making sure that their athlete gets the correct time and the correct formula. Any advantage could lead to the win, of course. This is Neti Kiviranta of Finland, bronze medalist a silver medalist here at these World Championships.
All ladies are here from Austria.
Imagine it. Not easy to keep track of 32 different athletes, getting them up in time. They're getting ready. The Austrian coach is just setting the hand grips to the correct height for Stari to get some purchase from.
Ready for the second round of the round 16.
Giveranta just staring down the course, knows the challenge ahead. There is the torchbearer. Final discussions for the ladies from Austria. Both guide and athlete alike getting themselves ready. I have to say, Nettie Giveranta giving off the vibes of someone that just wants to get on with it. And we will. There's the race director.
Posljednja je tu koja je startala posljednja, tako da možemo
There's Vangelia. Niku.
Okay. Okay. So, red course ready? Yes. Blue course ready? Attention.
Here we go then. Second run time on the last 16. When Astari, quickest qualifier, will fancy that she has got the better of Nettie Giveranta, the 20-year-old from Finland. He's looking that way more and more now. Got to stay in line, got to stay through the gates. But Astari hits the line here, and she will go through to the next stage.
And she's to the
Out goes Nettie Giveranta.
In the
He's got to get back on the ski lift and get up top again.
red course.
Very simple performance from start to finish, wasn't it?
Red course ready? Blue course ready? Attention.
Both athletes clearly saying they're ready. Nico versus Votsa. And Votsa will get a big gap here. Nico being given the maximum penalty she could. Missed the gate altogether in the first run. But can she claw it back on Votsa on the left-hand side? The 17-year-old Italian. Greek athlete on the right-hand side. Looking good here for Martina Votsa. In towards the quarterfinals she goes. 1.46. Good performance from Nico.
146 to
Vangelia goes out.
Nico Vossa is in the quarterfinals. We are making ready at the top for Melissa Perrin of Australia, and Mena Fitzpatrick of Great Britain.
Perrin and Fitzpatrick up next. Took a spill in the first run, so knows that she is right up against it in this second against the slalom world
Attention.
and Paralympic champion, Menna Fitzpatrick. So Great Britain on the left, Perrine on the right with a 2-second penalty. Fitzpatrick would not expect to have that gap closed down. You see Bobby Kelly really having to slow down and look for Mel Perrine. That gap growing, it would seem, from Fitzpatrick. Bit smoother towards the end for Perrine and Kelly. But Guest and Fitzpatrick hit the line, and that gap will be more than 2 seconds, I think. Yes, he will, 3.96. So Fitzpatrick moves on. She goes up against Elena Stari. She goes up against the winner of our next contest. Votsa will take on Stari. Fitzpatrick gets either Ischenko or Voronchikina, which is next.
Blue cars ready. Attention.
Here we go then, Voronchikina on the left. Ischenko on the right, surely far too much for her to make up against her flying teammate, Varvara Voronchikina. Neither of these 20 yet, 19 Voronchikina. Ischenko just 15, so huge difference in experience. Voronchikina been on the World Cup circuit for a fair amount of years now. And she will go up against Menna Fitzpatrick. You see Voronchikina just practicing her dip to the line. No need for it there, but might need it later. Might find some acrobatic finishing later on when it's tight. We'll show on the blue in the next run. Isabel Thrau, bib number 14, will be on the red. The German VI skier. We'll show will only have to start 0.16 behind.
Attention.
You would expect her to make that up within a matter of gates. But here we go. Tally's away. 0.16 visibly doesn't look a lot. Oh, it is a struggle for Tala early doors as well. Also, he's pushing it though. That wasn't her most comfortable section of the course. She looks good now. The pink ribbons on the back of her boots flailing through the sky as she makes her way down very comfortably indeed. And dipping towards the line is Tal, 5.67 down. She always had a difficult task. Just holds her right arm as she finishes as well. She's caught that.
Slovakian challenge. Petra Smaitsova in the red course.
Wasn't easy. She also almost at exactly the same moment.
In the blue course. In heat number 6.
Down to her backside and having to lift herself back up again. So also goes through.
Okay, copy.
Smatsova Falkasova to take on the Swede. Smatsova with a big deficit here. Can she claw that back? Falkasova looked good in her first run. Just a brief pause at the start. See the skiers being taken up on mono skis very quickly. And run up as quick as they can.
Red course ready? Yes. Blue course ready? Attention!
Here we go then. Left-hand side is Farkasova on the blue. Smatsova's a big, big penalty. Can't imagine anything like that being made up, but we'll soon find out. Farkasova can't take it steady. Smatsova giving it everything. 31-year-old on the right-hand side of your screen. But you feel she has ran out of time in this one. Farkasova hits the line. Smatsova comes through 2.94 down.
2.94 behind.
Farkasova, multiple winner at Paralympic and World Champions.
And we have
Back well over a decade.
in the red course, in the 7th heat,
She will
Andrea
take
Rothfuss from Germany and
top spot
Katja Poljar in the
in
blue
that one.
course from RPC.
Goes up against Orsho. The final quarter-final to be settled in a matter of moments. First one, Rothfuss versus Furiash.
Red course ready? Attention!
Away goes young Furiash for Team RPC. On the left side of your screen, very experienced Andrea Rothfuss of Germany, trying to chase her down on the right-hand side. 32-year-old against the 16-year-old, and at the moment the youngster doing well and should have enough here. First through the line, takes it, and it will be Furiash who knocks out Rothfuss here in the all-standing contest.
Rothfuss. Poljar is in the quarterfinals. We have the last two hits where Linda Le Bon didn't start, so we have Barbara Eigner alone in the 8th heat of the round 16 for women.
Attention!
Here we are then, final run of this one. And it's Eigner against Eigner, basically. No Le Bon in this one.
Eigner here, directly to the
Direct
quarterfinals.
into the quarterfinals. Had to make sure she came down in both runs, but
Finally saying that Stari
that was never really a problem.
against the Bossa from Italy, Fitzpatrick
Furiash
against Ronchikina.
knew who her opponent already was, so Eigner goes through. We've lost Rothfuss, Le Bon, Smatsova, Tal, Ischenko, Perrine, Niku, and Kiviranta in the women's event. Quarterfinals are nice and settled. I'll bring you those a little bit later on. You see the quarterfinal lineup then: Stari versus Rotsa, Veronikina, Fitzpatrick, Orsho versus Farkasova, and Eigner versus Furiash. Here's a look at the second run of the men's last 16.
Alexander Aliabiyev of RBC towards Johannes
Only
Eigner.
Eko Krakow starts with an advantage
Aliabiyev in the red course.
on a red
Eigner
course
in the
run.
blue course.
Everybody else on the blue will go off first. You see Alexander Oryabayev. Can he knock out the fastest qualifier in his race here? Johannes Eigner first through, youngest in the contest as well. The experienced Oryabayev.
You ready? Okay, blue course ready? Red course ready? Attention!
Away they go. Oryabayev's got a long wait though. Can he do it? Can he claw it back? World champion Eigner. Oryabayev, with all of his experience, he's a big old gap to try and make up. And it's going to prove to be too difficult as Johannes Eigner will come through the line.
Eigner makes no mistakes.
3.38 seconds the difference.
Aliabiyev. Eigner to the quarterfinal. Getting ready for Jakob Krakow in the blue course, Manuel Bourdin in the red course.
Red course ready? Attention!
Well, thanks. On the left-hand side here, trying to close down on Krakow. As I said, the only man with a slight advantage on the red course, Krakow. He's still got that advantage, but here comes Bourdin, the Frenchman, really turning the screw. Oh, Krakow gets there. 0.47 ahead of Bourdin. It was a tough, tough run for the Frenchman, and he nearly made it.
For Sander Kiri in the blue course, and Martin Solskjaer in the red course.
You see Krakow safely through the line,
Skiers right.
safely
Okay, copy.
into the next part of the contest. He'll go up against Johannes Eigner. Two VI athletes moving through so far. Krakow
Ready?
was ninth, beating
Red
eighth.
course ready?
So it's not all
Attention!
going the right way. Away goes Sarka Kiveri on the right-hand side. Sarka getting closed down here. Kiveri's coming. There's still a fair amount of gates to go here. Can the man from Lapin in Finland close the gap some more? He's got a little bit of work still left to do. This will be really tight as they get to the line. Oh, Kiveri's done it. 0.27. Santeri Kiri of Finland goes through. Well, and technically that's back-to-back upsets. Kiveri was ranked 12th going into this. Salka 5th, so he joins Krakow in the upset category. Salka just not able to put two runs together that were enough to beat Kiveri.
Attention!
Now Gullas out on the blue, Pelizzari out on the red. Gullas have the time advantage out of the gates. Pelizzari, 21-year-old on the right-hand side, trying to close down on the VI skier. Oh, a little sideways from Gullas as that opened the door somewhat. It shouldn't do. No, and Golas gets there, but only by 0.4 of a second.
0.40 ahead of Philip Sari. Jonas is in the quarterfinal. At the top, we have Thomas Charles Walsh ahead of Giacomo Bertagnoli.
So there is Golas going through, third VI athlete to do so.
Blue course ready? Red course ready? Attention!
Bertagnoli on the left-hand side. Walsh on the right. Couldn't claw back the gap in the first run. Seemingly not going to do so in the second either. So America's Thomas Walsh going to leave the competition here. Giacomo Bertagnoli breezing through here. Gap of 1.75. It's the fourth VI athlete through.
At the top, we have Australia, Michael Gorley, towards Neil Simpson of Great Britain.
Okay. Blue course ready? Red course ready? Attention!
Simpson's out on the left-hand side. Matagorli didn't close the gap in the first race, so he now knows his challenge is even harder in this second run. Simpson barring a mistake now in these last few gates into the quarter-final stage. Gorley with a good clean run closes the gap to 3.24.
3.24 behind, and Neil Simpson ending up in the quarterfinal towards Bertagnoli.
That little hump on like gate 4 there? Definitely noticed that. Yeah. And then I was just an idiot missing.
Simpsons enjoying their run. Through they go. Miroslav Hreos has an advantage on Brossan.
Attention!
The advantage though is just 0.77. VI versus standing. You feel that Brossan here with a clean run should have enough to get past even the great Miroslav Hreos. As many titles as he's won, Brossan should have what it takes here. Oh, it's going to be tight. This is a really good run from the Slovakian. Brossan, though, is closing him down. Oh, and Aleos goes down in his attempts to stay ahead. Hits the deck and goes out. Brossan goes through.
Brossan is to the quarterfinal. We have the last of the round 16 finals for men with Niko Pajantic of Austria towards Alexei Bugayev of RPC as the last heat in this round of 16 finals.
Yes. Red course ready?
Here we are then. Final last 16 clash in the men's parallel event. Niko Pajantic against Alexei Bugayev, second fastest versus the 15th qualifier. A little bit of problem with one of the blue gates.
Okay, blue course ready? Yeah. Red
You see the athletes, that's how they get up. Look,
Attention.
now having to wait for the ski lift. Dragged up with a mono ski. Nice and simple, no energy being used. So away they go then. Bugayev on the left-hand side. Pijancic on the right. Bugayev with the advantage out of the gate. He earned that in the first run. Pijancic to stay in this contest. He's got to claw back that distance, and it doesn't look like he's going to. We've seen a few people fall in this last tricky section. No such problems for Bugayev. He blows away Pijancic. 1.45 the gap. And that puts Bugayev against Brossan in the quarter-final. A single moment of bother for Alexei Bugayev in that run. And as he looks behind him, he knows it's job done. Take a look at those qualifiers in a few moments. And Bugayev just points to Brossan and says, "You and me." Well, they're enjoying it. Hopefully you are as well. And there you go then. Quarterfinals are nicely set up. It's Eigner and Krakow, two VI athletes against each other. Golas Kiveri in the second, Bertagnoli and Simpson, and then Bugayev and Brossan. Looking forward to that.
So we are soon ready for the first round quarterfinals for the women. Elina Skari, Martina Vossa.
So we'll have a short delay before the quarter-final action. They've got to get all the athletes up to the top. Again, it was just telling you a few moments ago, this is how they do it. So the two at a time. So obviously with the VIs, it's the VI and their guide. And they make their way up nice and steadily. These guys on their, I have absolutely no idea what you call that. Just a toy, basically. Here's the rundown for the slalom quarter-final for the women. Run one, remember they'll do 2 runs again in every single round, so even the final, they have to go twice. Votsa and Stari, Fitzpatrick, Veronchikina, that's an interesting one for me. Farkasova, Ordashow, another interesting bout in that one. And then Forias taking on Aigner. Young Forias getting past Rothfuss. 2 16-year-olds going up against each other. Farkasova and Ordashow. Veteran of the para world and winning titles against the lady that won her first one only yesterday. This is Votsa versus Stari. Stari getting her first medal behind Barbara Aigner in the women's slalom events here in Lillehammer. And going up against Martina Votsa, also only 17 herself. Italian falls behind here. Stari into the final 4 gates. It's going smoothly for the Austrian. And a win by 1.23 seconds. Disappointment in the arms. Quite visible from Votsa and the guide. Real mistakes from the Italians, just couldn't find as quick a line as Stari could.
Blue course ready? Yeah. Red course ready? Attention.
Well, hopefully you've been watching all the action across the snowboard with James Zanadakis and also, of course, the Nordic events. Big shout out to Ewan Dunlop as well. He's been doing all the interviews here. We'll see him, or hear him a little bit later on as well. Commentated on a few of the events here this week. These guys looking for a place in the semi-finals. First run, though. This is interesting. Fitzpatrick, Veronchikina, and Veronchikina gets there, but only by 0.66. Well, a good run from Veronchikina. Fitzpatrick not able to get to the line first.
Blue course ready? Red course ready?
Here we go then. Farkasova against Ordashow. Farkasova will get the advantage as the VI athlete. Ordashow will try and close this gap down. Multiple-time world champion Henrietta Farkasova. Ordashow, very much a new name. Oh, Farkasova spins out, and down she goes. Ordashow will breeze to the line from here on in. She may not even know what happened to Farkasova. She'll have a look behind her now. Well, maximum penalty time added, so Ordashow turns the screw a little. She's felt that. Put a lot of effort in.
New round. We have Tasha Forias towards Barbara Aigner at the top.
Oh, just gets her left foot inside the gate. Collides with a couple in the end. Well, the course has been returned to full health. We get the final quarter-final event underway. Forias comes out second, of course. Aigner, already a world champion here. Forias' job is to try and close down as much as she can. And she's doing so. How much can she help herself in the second run? Remember, in the second run, it's the first across the line here. Forias is going to get there, is she? Yes, she does. 6/100ths of a second in front of Aigner. Can she find more in the second run? It's a good start to these quarterfinals. You see Aigner on this near side. Brothers in the men's quarterfinals. But young Tessia Forias has put in a very good performance there. And again, that's the end of the women's quarterfinal first run. Just again, if you've been watching these World Championships right across, it's the first time a World Champs has included all three sports. You see the men's quarterfinal run one: Krakow, Aigner, Kiveri, Golas, Simpson, Bertagnoli and Brosan Bugaev. All three sports being brought to you. We've been really enjoying the snowboard events. Of course, fabulous team over at the Nordic as well. But here at the Alpine, myself and Ewan really enjoyed being a part of this World Championships.
Okay. Red course
I'd
ready.
like to have so much more action still left to come here on the final day.
Attention.
Krakow on the left, Johannes Aigner on the right. They'll go together here. The youngster against the experienced Slovakian. At the moment, visibly, Aigner has just about the lead. Can he keep hold of it? Krakow is pushing, but Johannes Aigner looking good for the win in race one here. And he does indeed. Oh, 0.75 the difference.
At the top, we're making ready for Santeri Kiveri towards Mikael Golas.
Red course ready. Attention.
Kiveri Golas. Golas to go first. Kiveri 183 down. Well, fancy that. Santeri Kiveri already having knocked out Marcus Salka. Golas going through Federico Pellizzari in his last 16 contest. As they come towards the line, it's tied again, 0.57. Well, he really did close down that gap. Santeri Kiveri. Another set up for a good second run. Kiveri giving everything there. So next at the top then, Bertagnoli and Simpson.
Red course ready. Attention.
Bertagnoli knocking out Thomas Walsh of the USA in his last round. Simpson going past Australia's Mitchell Gawley. Simpson on the left, Bertagnoli on the right. An ever-improving world champion, against an ever-improving Great Brit. It's still tight despite Simpson's error. Oh, another one though. Oh, down he goes. Well, Bertagnoli will take this first one, and it means that Simpson's hopes are dashed. He'll get the maximum penalty for not hitting the line there. Down goes Simpson. Hopefully he's okay. He's already had one collision with a gate that sent him off balance. Managed to recover from that. Still looked in the race. Bertagnoli wasn't without problems, but this was the moment that he got all out of shape, kept his left arm hooked up in the gate, and it just kept spinning his body round and around it went. Bertagnoli takes full advantage. Two standing athletes to come next. Brossan,
Two cars ready?
who qualified in 10th, got rid of 7th place Miroslav Hareus in the last round. He goes up against Nikop Piantic's successor, Alexei Bugayev. Brossan goes. Bugayev with a slight disadvantage. Despite them both being in the standing, it would have been down to their impairment factor. And Bugayev is coming for all. Brossan got a little square. A pair of them absolutely clattering through the gates. Got to be careful not to get tangled up. It's what Brossan did a little earlier on. Bugayev should have this with 2 to go. He will. He'll hit the line. 0.71 ahead, and Brossan throws his head up towards the sky. If you make a mistake out on the course, you know it's only your own fault if you're second across that line. Bugayev, pretty smooth. Clattering through the gates, getting really low down on the corners. And into the line he comes as the winner. Is Bugayev chatting away with Jourdain Brossan. So second run for the women. It's a good mixture here. Starry on Takina Fitzpatrick. What a show for Kasova. Aigna Forias. That fall from Falkasova gives Eva Orsho a helping hand. Ronchikina's got 3 seconds to make up on Fitzpatrick. Watson and Starry, 1.24 separate those two.
Yes, I am. Go. Red course ready? Yes. Blue course ready? Okay.
One. Blue course. 8 and 1, 2, 4, 0. Yes.
Just preparing
Blue course
final
ready?
checks for this first run. Then Starry and Votsa. Starry on the left-hand side. Votsa with a 1.24 gap. She's got to somehow make up. Elena Starry of Austria needs to keep it smooth as well as fast and hope that that gap is enough. Medalist here at these World Championships. Would have been an absolute dream coming into it. That's what she would achieve. But is closing, but I don't think enough here. Oh, Starry just slowed herself down. But he's going to comfortably get across that line. 1.06 in front. Starry progresses. Well, having knocked out Ivananta in the first round, Starry is through to the semi-finals, where she'll face either Fitzpatrick or Veronchikina coming up in the next race.
Blue course ready? Red course ready? Attention!
So Fitzpatrick on the right has a 3.07 advantage as a VI skier coming out of the gates. Here comes two-time world champion in the standing events, Veronchikina. Can she make up that gap this time around? She's already closing down on Britain's Fitzpatrick. How much speed can the slalom world and Paralympic champion find in these final few gates? Here comes Team RPC's Veronchikina, and I think she's just about edged herself in front here with a few gates to go, and she will take it. Oh, 0.87 in the end. That's a great run from Veronchikina.
Semi-final towards Elina Stari.
So Veroncikina against Stari. RPC versus Austria.
We're ready for
Semi-final is settled. Sweden, Slovakia, RPC, Austria. They're the next four ladies coming up. Fitzpatrick bows out, not a world champion in this one. She'll go home with plenty to be happy about from these world championships. It's been a mixed bag for Henrietta Farkasova from Slovakia. A fall in the first run here gives Ebba Arsho all the cards, it would seem. Standing versus VI, and not just any old standing athlete. Arsho has been phenomenal these last few days, and she's already ahead. Farkasova knows for her it's going to be a clean run and hope that Arsho burns herself out, but that's not going to happen here. Ebba Arsho gliding towards the finish and takes it comfortably from the Slovakian. 3.18 the gap. Arsho goes through.
We have the last of the quarterfinals for ladies with Tasia Forias, RPC, towards Barbara Eigner from Austria.
Blue cars ready? Red cars ready? Attention!
Away we go then. Barbara Eigner, can she hold off the very impressive Tasia Forias, Team RPC? Eigner, second fastest qualifier this morning. Forias down in seventh, but she's already seen off the very experienced Rothfuss. This is going to be tight, you know. Forias is coming. Eigner on the left-hand side in the blue. Forias on the right as they come towards the line. Oh, Forias has got there, you know. 0.35.
0.35 ahead of Eigner.
Forias goes through. Great run from the 16-year-old. Oh, she's delighted with that. Use of the ski pole in just the left hand. You see the right hand tucked inside the bib. Keeps the arm nice and steady, streamlines the body as much as she can. And Forias means there's two Team RPC athletes in the semi-final. There you are, Stari of Austria versus Veroncikina of RPC. Ebba Arsho of Sweden takes on RPC's Tasia Forias in the semi-finals.
Maybe it will be good when
You're
we
ready
go to the
for
heats.
the
Tell me when it's 30 seconds that we tell them.
men.
After when we start.
Second round in the quarterfinal. Johannes Eigner from Austria towards Jakob Krakow of Slovakia.
Eigner and Krakow, Golas Kiveri, Bertagnoli, Simpson, Bukayev, Brossan. All of the advantages are on the blue run in this one. It was fairly mixed up in the women's, but no such luck this time. Big challenge for Kiveri and Simpson, you feel. Simpson with a fall, giving Bertagnoli a 2-second gap. I'm not sure the world champion needs such a gap. But you never know. If there was to be a fall or a mistake, the Simpsons would be taking advantage, I'm sure. Over the shoulder of Jakob Krakow. And head on he goes with Johannes Eigner. He's got some last minute checks.
Red cars ready?
Maintenance on the gate before they're ready, but they are now ready. There goes the snow in the back of the neck. I have no idea why they do that. Jakob Krakow seems to accept it every time. I imagine it just wakes up the body. 0.76 the difference against an already flying Johannes Eigner. Can Jakob Krakow make that gap up? He is closing down. This is a good run from the Slovakian. But Aigner into the bottom section. Just needs to hold his nerve through these final few gates, and I think he will. He does. 0.81 in the end. Unlucky from Krakow. Aigner goes through. Well, his sister's just gone out. But Johannes Aigner, quickest qualifier this morning, continues in the contest, stays in the competition, and he's through to the semi-final stage.
We're ready for Samtidig Kivri.
Red one's ready. Red one's ready. Attention.
Here we go then. Kivri with a big challenge here against Golos. He seemed frustrated after the first run. Can he find what he needs to make that up? Not many gates left to do it. Golos needs to stay true. He's absolutely flattened that game, but Kivri is coming. Oh, nearly. 0.35. Kivri goes out, but you cannot say he didn't try. Michał Golos from Poland goes through. Samtidig Kivri looks a little disappointed still, but he has given absolutely everything here. You see the visible distance that they were apart with about 7 gates to go, and somehow he's got himself within 0.35. It is Golos that goes through. Communication device clearly getting hit by one of the gate poles, wiping it off his helmet almost. Duct taped on. You see the audio devices look taped to the back of the helmets.
Ready?
Blue course ready.
Bertagnoli
Red course ready.
and Simpson. The fall from Simpson means that this is less of an even contest than it could have been. Bertagnoli has a big advantage here. Can Neil Simpson make it up? Will Bertagnoli help him out with an error? Simpsons have just got to go for this. And they are, you know. Bertagnoli holding on steady. World champion. Can't afford to take his foot off the gas. And I don't think he has. Simpson 0.76 in the end. It's a good effort from Neil Simpson. Just couldn't quite make it up.
We have the last of the quarterfinals for men.
Well,
with
Brossan and Bugaev still to come.
Towards
Battle of the Bees. Doesn't get any better because one of them will face off against Bertagnoli in the next round. There we go then. Bugaev, Brossan just 0.07 the difference. Or Brossan getting a little ugly through that section. Bugaev looking neat and tidy. And the man from Team RPC is pulling away with almost every gate at this point. It is Bugaev into the semi-finals. Over a second and a half the difference as well. Good performance from Alexei Bugaev from Team RPC. Brossan goes out. Well, if you make it to the semi-final, you know there's 4 races to come at least. There is the third place small final, as they call it. Battle for the bronze medal to you and I. So 4 more races for these guys to go through. So Bugaev with the wave. He's waved away the opposition so far. Bugaev against Bertagnoli. Aigner versus Golos. That is the men's semi-finals to come.
We are ready for the semifinals.
Women's semi-finals almost ready.
Stari of Austria.
Starting going through final preparation. To semi-final action up next. Then again, still 2 runs per event. Veronica of RPC takes on Elena Stari of Austria, and Team RPC's Foriash, youngster, takes on Sweden's Ebba Orsho in the second semi-final. 1 athlete from the VI category left, 3 from the standing. See Veronica just keeping herself ready mentally and physically, just staring down the course. Stari will have an advantage on the formula that is used in this contest, being the VI skier. She will get to go away first. Just got to keep their concentration through the delay.
Okay.
I think they're just about ready
Blue card's
to
ready.
get going.
Red card's ready. Attention.
Both athletes screaming yes when asked if they're ready. Here we go, 3.73. Veronica has to make up. She's quick enough, she'll do it. Everything she makes back this time around helps her in the second run as well. And she is flying already. Stari has it all to do here. Veronica moving through nicely. Not sure she's going to get ahead here of Stari. Oh, it's going to be close, you know, as they hit the line. Oh, she does. 0.16 Veronica with a big first run.
Ahead of Stari.
Well, the way this is boiling down, we're almost heading towards a Veronica Orsho final, which I think would make for some cracking viewing. But maybe Stari and Foriash have something to say about it, but Stari here beaten by a fraction in the first run. There is Ebba Orsho from Sweden. impairment, muscle reduction in her right leg.
Yeah, yeah.
Hero is the
Thank you very
great
much,
US
Doctor.
skier Lindsey Vonn. Seems a pretty good hero to have, it has to be said. Before receiving her classification, she's competed, still does, in able-body events as well, Ebba Orsho, so no surprise that she's come in as a new name, but is already very well respected at the top end. So Forias with a big slide about 3 gates back, and that has allowed Orsho to steam ahead here. And the 21-year-old hits the line, 0.65 ahead.
In the first round.
So through they come then, Orsho hitting the line, gives herself a little bit of a lead. And the slalom world champ, as of just yesterday, has a bit of an advantage going into the second run of this semi-final. Here's the men's first run in their semi-finals. Golas of Poland against Eigner of Austria. Italy's Bertagnoli against Team RPC's Alexei Bugayev, who starts 2.63 down. Bertagnoli, but Bugayev has been chasing people all the way through this contest already. Slightly different to the normal skiing that they do. Obviously, this is very repetitive, so in terms of fatigue and fitness, it's quite interesting. They've got to do it, get up, do it again, and keep going. And obviously, there are 8 trips down this course still left to come. 4, should I say. They've already done 4. And that's not without the qualifying as well. So a lot of activity, physically draining, especially for some on their impairments. A lot of hard work going in. Eigner goes out first, just a little advantage over Golas. He's keeping hold of that advantage as well. In fact, Eigner might be stretching it here. Up towards the line, the youngster hits the line first. 1:03 is the time eventually attributed as the difference between Golas and Eigner. So advantage goes to the Austrian. Why they ski in preparation for the second of the semi-finals to come. Bertagnoli of Italy, Bugayev, RPC. I think Eigner will have the better of Golas in the first semi-final. This one seems a little bit more square to me. Bertagnoli on the left, he'll have a 2.63 advantage. He's got to go quick though, because Bugayev is in blistering form here today. Bertagnoli, world champion in the giant slalom. Bugayev is coming for him. As they reach that gate, they're just about level. How much has Bugayev got left here? At the line, he gets there, 0.33. Oh, he puts his arms in the air straight away. He knew it was good, he knew it was quick. And it was 0.33. He got between himself and Bertagnoli. Are we looking now at the winner of this parallel event? It doesn't seem to matter what the gap is between him at the start gate. He is making it up today.
The second round for the ladies. Ready.
Well, at the moment, Team RPC are in contention to take both titles, it would seem. Starting against Veroncikina. She's got to make up 3:57 this time around. Orsho will start with an advantage over Foriash of 0.48. Just waiting for Veroncikina to get there. Of course, it gets to this stage, there's less athletes to bring up, but it also means there's less athletes coming down, so less time for you to get there as well. So it's a quick process at the moment. Get to the bottom, get dragged back up to the top. Starting for a place in the final then, this one. Our first ever finalist will be crowned just here. Veroncikina has to make up that gap. 3.57. A mistake would be very costly. With an advantage already in Stari's court.
Can we go with the ladies or not? Yes.
A gap of 3.57 to make up. Veroncikina, double world champion here already. Super combined event on the Super G as well.
Okay, TVB go.
Slalom parallel, he's ready. First ever finalist in this contest will be named just in a moment's time. But who will it be? Austria's Elena Stari is away. Vavra Veroncikina, Team RPC on the right-hand side, has it all to do. Over 3.5 seconds to make up. Can Stari find a quick enough run to keep her behind? VI skier versus standing skier, and Veroncikina is closing, but she's not there yet. Stari on the left-hand side, Veroncikina on the right as they come through the final two gates. Oh, Veroncikina gets there. Oh, 0.26. Oh, it was close, but she's through to the final. Veroncikina with the hope of making it a third world title here and becoming the first ever parallel world champion.
Second of these semifinals, Ebba Oresjö of Sweden towards Taitja Foriash of RPC.
Well, as the sun starts to fade on this competition, plenty of light is still shining on this lady here, Ebba Oresjö of Sweden. Fairly new to your screens, the first ever World Championship. She's looking forward to the Paralympic Winter Games, of course, in Beijing.
Can we go?
Can she see off Foriash after winning the first of the two runs? She's given herself an advantage. Oresjö versus Veroncikina. That could be a very interesting final indeed. Again, still 2 runs in the final as well. Just making sure their calculations are correct at the top. Making sure that gate doesn't open any sooner or later than it needs to. Foriash just taking it all in. 16-year-old here on the slopes of the 1994 Winter Olympic and Paralympics. An iconic venue. Can she find a breathtaking performance to claw back Oresjö, or will we continue to see this fantastic Swedish athlete rip through the course as she has done these last few days? At the moment, it's the latter. Forias struggling to find the pace to get up towards Orsho. And Sweden will get themselves a finalist here. Ebba Orsho looking for her second title of these World Championships. 2.82. Forias knew it was over. She could see Orsho was too far ahead. Sweden versus RPC in the women's final. Orsho looking very good. Forias there, look, with a mistake towards the end in the effort to try and close down on this lady. It was just too much. Orsho makes it through. There's the smile. She's got to get herself up to the top pretty quickly. We'll have the third place event as well. But that's what we've got for now. Orsho versus Veronkina. Stario will take on Forias for the bronze. Really are getting towards the end of competition at these World Championships. Just a few races left to come. The second run then. Aigna Golas. Aigna in pole position here. Bertagnoli Bugaev. Can the man from RPC close down the brilliant Italian? Golas, just 17.
Red course ready.
Johannes Aigner, just 16. Youth prevailing on that side of the draw. Away goes Aigner. Away goes Golas. It surely has to be Johannes Aigner's day here. Poland's Golas, though, who's put in some very good performances. It has to be said at these World Championships. It was a debut World Champs for him. Aigner stepping up and getting a world title. Golas is not going to make this up. No mistakes here at the end for Aigner, and he breezes through the line here. He'll have stretched that lead. I think, yes, he has to exactly 2 seconds. So Aigner takes it from Golas.
Aigner is in the final. 2 seconds.
So Golas goes into the third place contest. A small final awaits for him.
At the top together with
Johannes Aigner into the final. Again, you don't get much time. You've got to get back up there, get yourself ready.
Blue course ready.
Here comes the second semi-final, second run then. Bertagnoli on the right-hand side. He's got 2.3 to play with. What he doesn't need is any errors. What he would like is Bugaev to find a fault or two somewhere. Bertagnoli, right side of the screen for Italy. A multiple-time world and Paralympic champion. Bugaev is chasing him down, but Bertagnoli might just have done enough, you know. Final few gates. The Italian, has he done enough to hold him off? Oh, he has! Oh, 0.15. Bertagnoli goes through. Bugaev just outside him. And Giacomo Bertagnoli makes it into the final.
Thank you. Well done, man. Well done.
Very interesting indeed. That means it's 2 standing skiers in the women's event and 2 VI skiers in the men's event. Well, that will level it off pretty much to performance-based skiing in the end. Bertagnoli delighted.
Last one?
Bertagnoli versus Aigner. And you just heard Johannes Aigner said, now it's getting interesting. Well, it's been interesting all the way through, young Johannes. I'll tell you. And that's how they've got there. Aigner has seen off Krakow and Golas. Bertagnoli has seen off Bugaev and Simpson. And they face each other. 2 VI athletes in the final of the men's parallel slalom.
Ladies class, Barbara Veronkina now, RPC towards Ebba Oresjö in the final.
Oh, really good.
Small final,
way to finish this off then. Two athletes in the same category against each other.
We start with a small final. 2 rounds
In the women's standing event. Veronkina, just 19, from Bikalsk. Just to look back at just some of the action that's been taking place in the semi-finals. Again, the athletes getting themselves ready to do battle just a couple more times. The small finals and the finals themselves still to come. Determining the bronze. That lady there facing up to the prospect of being a double world champion at the first time of asking. Veronkina, well, she would be winning her 3rd title here in Lillehammer if she was to become victorious. Still plenty of locals and volunteers watching on, waiting for the conclusion of this competition. It's worth ringing your friends and telling them to turn it on as well. The guys just about to make their way up. IF probably not going up to collect or race for the medal that he thought he would, but Bertagnoli held him off. So Bagayev makes his way up. It is pretty cool to be on the back of one of those. And away they go. So we'll be back in a few moments. I wonder if he realises with those reflective visors we can see exactly what he's looking at. And that's how it's gone in the women's event. We are into the final. Bib 3 and 4 have made it through, which means we are in for a very close contest indeed. In the men's, it was Bib 1 and 3. Aigner was the fastest in qualifying. Can he get past the great Bertagnoli and take a title? As I said, once all the athletes are up, we'll get these proceedings underway.
semifinals.
Not far away then, starting the 2 third place contest small finals first.
So it's no protest. And we have them prior the medal ceremony just after last brother is finished.
Foriash Stari, and then we'll have Vronchikina Orsho, but we'll have the men's and the women's small finals first, so it'll be Foriash and Stari, and then it'll be Michal Golas against Alexei Bugayev. And then we'll have the finals being Vronchikina and Orsho and Bertagnoli versus Aigner. Once again, 2 runs in both these contests to decide the winner.
We're ready for the final with
Blue cars ready? Yes. Red cars ready? Yeah. Attention!
Away we go then. Right-hand side, Stari. Left-hand side, as you look at it on the blue run, is Foriash, just 16 years of age. Foriash, her opponent, just 15. And it looks this way for now that Stari will get there. She does. What's the gap? 1.17. Well, the battle for bronze. Advantage Austria in that one. Again, physically quite demanding. They've just now got to quickly get back up for the second run as well.
The finals for ladies with Vronchikina of RPC towards Ebba Oresjö of Sweden.
No time to hang about. They've got to get up as quick as they can. Foriash wants to try and watch the action, but the guys and girls down the bottom end are trying to encourage her to get back up. Bugayev is probably what she wants to watch, but Bugayev versus Golos up next. Bugayev giving away a 2.63 advantage at the beginning due to Golas's category and factor. Bugayev will be attempting to close that so that when he races on the second run, it's a little tighter. Small final for the men. First of 2 runs to find out who is going to take the bronze in this inaugural parallel slalom event. Bugayev's got to put aside that disappointment. He's so close to Bertagnoli in that semi-final contest. Golos will be delighted to have reached this stage in a debut World Championships. He put in some good performances during the VI events. Certainly one for the future. Bugayev, we know a fair about him. One thing we do know is he is super quick. Can he pull back the advantage that Golos had? And I think he has, you know, as he's got 2 gates to come. Golos is going to find himself behind. 0.58. It's electric from Bugayev once again. And you would have to say he now becomes favourite for the bronze in this contest. Conditions just starting to change up at the top of the mountain. It's got a little brighter at the bottom, but funnily enough, it's really clouding up towards the top. We've had a fairly foggy couple of days here in Lillehammer. And that weather is sort of closing in a bit across the top. Can't see much past the start gate at the moment, which is just here, just behind them. It's not so great.
the blue course from
Ursula
RPC.
Vronsakina. First run of the first ever final of the women's parallel slalom.
Fast, because fog is coming from each side. Look, that we push the finals before the fog.
And we are, you might have heard that, we are trying to get these finals done before that fog rolls into sight. It's coming.
To su sad finale.
First run of the final. Sweden's Ebba Orsho against Team RPC's Vavra Vronsakina on the hill that hosted the 1994 Winter Olympic and Paralympic Games. Only the second time in history that the Paralympics had used exactly the same venue off the back of the Olympics. These two, with Beijing in mind, would love to set a statement against each other right now. Orsho on the right for Sweden, Vronsakina on the left. Team RPC, who's got the speed here in this parallel event? At the moment, Orsho keeping hold of the advantage. Final 5 gates. Orsho looking good here for Sweden. Vronsakina doing everything she can. 0.63. Orsho has the lead. It's a tussle, this. And again, talking about being physically demanding, they've got to get straight over to those vehicles, get straight up to the top, and do it all again.
Then you're ready for the
Men's first run in their final coming up then. Johannes Eigner, just 16 years of age. Italy's Giacomo Bertagnoli turned 23. Managed to get himself here after failing a COVID test earlier on in the month. Eventually got here and won a title. 4-time gold medalist of the last World Championships, a double gold in Pyeongchang. Does love the slalom. Johannes Eigner isn't just making up the numbers. He's backed himself medals at these World Championships himself. He's had a couple of disappointing results as well. Failure to finish either of these runs is catastrophic in the parallel event. Just a brief pause. Only adds to the drama. First run. Mentally as well. You're looking for an advantage. Get inside the mind of your opponent, perhaps. Bertagnoli still seems fairly jovial. It is a fun event. It doesn't mean they won't want the title. Bertagnoli, perhaps.
Okay.
A little more experience, of course, over the 16-year-old. He'll perhaps be feeling the nerves a little more. Bertagnoli will just find this another thrill along the journey. Eigner goes first, but 0.79 is not a lot. Here they go, first run, and it's two VI athletes against each other. Bertagnoli on the left-hand side of your screen on the blue run. On the right-hand side, it's Eigner on the red run. And at the moment, the guide for the Austrian helping him down and helping him stay ahead. It was only a small lead that he had through the gates, but at the moment, it's Eigner. 5 gates to go. He does have a lead here. Eigner versus Bertagnoli. Forget what it says here as they come through the line. Well, we'll wait for the official results.
Still 1 run to go.
Well, there's Eigner pushing through the line. The 4 of them coming together.
Ready for a new round of the full final for the ladies.
Take a look at the official result shortly on that first run, I'm hoping. Get ready for the second run of the small final. Foriash, Team RPC on your screen. Final run of the competition. Is it a bronze medal winning day for Foriash? Or can Elena Stary at 15 take bronze and write her name in the record books? She's ready. Here we go then. First ever bronze medal winner coming right up.
Yeah. Attention!
Stary on the left, Foriash on the right. And it's a big old gap for the standing skier to make up. And the way that Stary has been skiing here, not just today, but this week in general, you would say that she's got enough to take her to the bottom and pick up the bronze. Foriash on the right-hand side, trying her best to make this up. But without a mistake, it's going to be Foriash in fourth, Stary in third, and it is by 0.78. She did really well. It was a big, big gap she had to make up, but it's bronze, and look what it means. Elena Stary of Austria gets herself a medal here. And she is delighted with it. Big smiles all around.
The second round in the small finals for men.
Well, 15 years old and a bronze medal here. Well done to Tessia Foriash, only 16 herself, put the right pressure onto Stary, but look how wide that smile is. Good luck wiping that away. She's buzzing with that. Bugaev. He will fancy himself against Poland's Michał Golos. But he will also have a disadvantage coming out of these gates that he needs to make up. 2.05, the work he did in the first race helped him close that down. But again, one mistake, 2 seconds will feel like a mountain. Away goes Bugaev in the background. Golos for the chance of a bronze here. It has to be clean from him. But Bugaev is coming already. We're about halfway through the course, and Bugaev already getting onto grips, onto terms with Golos. As they reach the final few gates, Bugaev has steamed ahead and he jumps over the line. 0.74, it's a bronze for Bugaev.
Michał Golos of Poland ending up
Well, Golos
fourth.
ends in fourth position in this contest. Qualified in fourth, and that's what he got. Bugaev qualified in second. He has to settle for bronze. Skipped his way through the course. Very agile, Bugaev. And you see celebrating. Oh, the ski jump course is just down the road. Maybe he's got himself confused. Here we go then. First ever female winner of this contest. Is it Ebba Orsho or Vavra Veroncikina? The gap is 1.35 for Veroncikina. Orsho, got to keep it steady, got to keep it quick and smooth. Veroncikina has got to throw absolutely everything at this, and she is doing in the early stages. Orsho is maintaining the gap at the front here. Orsho on the left-hand side is about to become the first ever world champion, and she does it. 0.77 the difference. Eva Orsho of Sweden takes the title in the parallel slalom for women. Well, does the women's standing division have a new queen? She's certainly crowned winner of this one. Well, Orsho been magnificent all the way through, earned herself a big advantage, and it was one that Veroncikina could not make up. There's an embrace at the end. I'm sure Veroncikina is overly happy. This lady is. Gold in the slalom, and now, as she closes her eyes and thinks about it, she's picked up another gold medal in her debut World Championships, and Sweden have got a real gem on their hands. It's been quite a while since they've had a competitor at all in Alpine in the para world, and they've got one that has gone straight to the top of the class. Here we go then. Men's final, Bertagnoli versus Aigner. The youngster versus the four-time world champion at the last World Champs. But this event wasn't part of that. Aigner has a big old lead over Bertagnoli. Can he keep it? The Italian already trying to close down on Aigner. The youngster on the left-hand side, just 16 years of age. He's the youngest in this contest, and he looks like he's going to be the man that takes the title as well. Aigner on the left-hand side hits the line, and he takes the title. Johannes Aigner picks up gold here in Lillehammer. Once again, world champion of the parallel slalom. Oh, and he's happy with that, isn't he? You heard him whooping. And the young Austrian has picked up a gold on the very final event of this tournament. You can see Bertagnoli pushing it as hard as he could, but Aigner ripping up the course. Well, they often say in parasport right across the board that age is just a number, young or old. No matter what your impairment, give it a go and see what happens. And 16-year-old vision-impaired skier Johannes Aigner has taken the title here. Here we go then, Johannes Aigner. He took out Golas in the semi-final. He took out Jakub Krakow in the quarter-final. He took out Alexander Alyabayev in the last 16. The biggest scalp of the lot, Giacomo Bertagnoli, is beaten by Aigner. Fastest qualifier. And he has taken the title in the men's parallel slalom event. Excellent. So what a brilliant event it's been here in Lillehammer. From myself, Alan March, a huge thank you for everybody that's tuned in to watch whatever competitions you've managed to take in. We'll have the medal ceremonies coming to you in a few moments. We'll get interviews from Ewan Dunlop with all of our winners here in this contest. But from myself, goodbye.
Double over Tikina, ORPC, 0.77 behind Ebba Oresjö. Ebba Oresjö, Sweden, is on the top of the list. And we have a gold medal for Aigner and Austria. Kommer bakom Norway. Silver. Vi har Alexei Duvayan. Welcome to the medal and prize giving ceremony, Lillehammer 2021 World Paralympics Championship, Parallel Slalom for women. In third place, and winner of the bronze medal, representing Austria, Elena Stari, with guide Celine Althofer. In second place, and winner of the silver medal, representing RPC, Barbara Gronchikina. In first place, we draw the gold medal and world champion, representing Sweden, Ebba Åresjö. These fine athletes receive their prize money. And the medal winners are saluted by Erik Roste, President of the Norwegian Ski Federation. In honor of the winner, the national anthem of Sweden. Give these four fine athletes a big hand.
Ebba, not just one, but a two-time world champion in Norway. How do you feel right now?
I'm so tired, but I'm also so happy, very happy.
I mean, a unique event. You're the first ever world champion in the parallel. Does that make it a bit more special? It's never happened before.
It hasn't? Oh, that's special. That's special.
I mean, it seemed to be having a lot of fun out there today. Was it a fun competition for you?
Yeah. It was so funny and exciting. I was excited to ski today, so you don't do this every day, so really good.
Now, it wasn't the perfect start to your championship, but it could have ended any better. 2 gold medals.
Yeah, precisely. I did what I could. Yeah, I'm happy.
How are you going to celebrate tonight?
Maybe some rest tonight and go home tomorrow to my family and celebrate with them.
Ebba, huge congratulations. Well done.
Yeah, thank you.
Welcome to the medal and prize giving ceremony, Lillehammer 2021 World Paralympic Sports Championship, Parallel Slalom for men. In third place, and winner of the bronze medal, representing RPC, Alexei Bugayev. In second place, and winner of the silver medal, representing Italy, Giacomo Bertagnoli, with guide Andrea Ravelli. In first place, winner of the gold medal and world champion, representing Austria, Johannes Aigner, with guide Matthias Deichmann. These fine athletes receive their prize money. And the athletes will be greeted by Erik Røste, President of the Norwegian Ski Federation. In honor of the winner, the national anthem of Austria. Give these fine athletes a big round of applause. And we wish you all good luck next week in Åre, Sweden. For those of you who are going to China, good luck in Beijing. And we all hope to see you next year in Östersund, Sweden. Vi takker for oss. Producer her heter Erik Martinsen. Jeg heter Erik Østli. Håper vi ses ved neste korsvei. Kjør pent. Vi har ingen skiløpere å miste.
Gentlemen, huge congratulations once again, double world champions.
Thanks a lot. I don't know what to say at the moment.
It's a unique event, the first ever time it's been in the World Championships. You are the first ever male world champions. What does that mean to you?
I don't describe it. It was a really funny competition, but we gave always 100% and yeah, we rocked it.
I mean, it's been a serious week, but you just said they're fun. Everybody seemed to be enjoying themselves up on the mountain today.
Yeah, I think it's really funny. So, yeah.
And where do you guys go from here now?
Sorry, I don't understand. What do you mean?
Where do you guys go from here in terms of competition? I mean, what's your next expectations?
What do you think? What are you on the next? It's hard to say. We just try to give always 100% and then we will see.
And is this beyond anything you could have expected? 2 silvers, 2 golds. Did you have any idea? Did you think, just maybe, or is this completely beyond that?
No, so we hoped it because we trained really hard and we gave everything in training, but that it came true and in this form we never thought about it.
Boys, I know you're going to celebrate and enjoy yourself.
Yes.
Double world champions, congratulations.
Thank you.